FBI to retract Catholic white supremacist memo, launch internal investigation. Of course, after it gets out that this is happening, I reported on this yesterday about the memo on Catholics basically, and now they retract. Now they say they're going to retract it. They're going to take it back and have this investigation only because they were busted. I don't think it's because of any so-called wrongdoing or anything like that. I think it's because they got busted is the reasoning why they want to have this so-called investigation. But I don't. There's not. No one's going to get in trouble for it. It's not going to be any reprimand. No one's going to be fired or anything like that. This is just a dog and pony show just to say they did something because they got caught doing some ridiculous stuff, turning normal people into terrorists. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon where I talk about things I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my merch store where I have I Will Not Comply t-shirts. So check those t-shirts out as well. All right, let's talk about this news. The FBI has vowed to launch an internal investigation to look into a now retracted leaked document which advised the agency to infiltrate groups of Roman Catholics which were, quote, at risk of committing acts of extremist violence, the Daily Caller reports. Now, of course, they're not looking into Antifa. They're not looking into any groups like that that actually done violent things, set things ablaze, killed police officers and things like that. They're not worried about infiltrating them. They're worried about infiltrating the Catholic Church. This is crazy. I talked about it yesterday. But according to the document, Catholics, quote, characterized by the rejection of the Second Vatican Council, are prone to embracing anti-Semitic, anti-immigrant, anti-LGBTQ, and white supremacy ideology. Again, where's the evidence to this? They go off of the SPLC, which I know I think the SPLC is a front for the leftists. They use this organization to attack conservatives, to attack people on the right. The Second Vatican Council, which concluded in 1965, supplanted the 16th century Latin Mass with the vernacular Novus Ordo form, which some groups have rejected while attempting to preserve the old Latin liturgy while continuing communion with Rome. The FBI cites the Southern Poverty Law Center, again, the SPLC, including the group's list of, quote, radical traditional Catholicism hate groups. The document showed that the FBI's field office in Richmond was considering infiltrating groups of traditionalist Roman Catholics who prefer the Latin Mass, a whistleblower revealed on Wednesday. Again, a former FBI agent and whistleblower Kyle Sparafin published the alleged document, which he wrote is dated January 23rd, 2023, and originated with the, quote, intelligence analyst within the Richmond field office. This is Richmond, Virginia. Seraphin, who describes himself as a confirmed Catholic in his bio, did not say how he obtained the document. That was by the Daily Caller. Now, according to the agency, the document, which originated from the Richmond field office, quote, does not meet the exacting standards of the FBI. No duh. And the Bureau will provide and probe how it came to be, reads the report. They're not supposed to be using SPLC as evidence of anything. So it shouldn't have. They never even shouldn't have never came out with this document in the first place. And I'm laughing at the. It doesn't meet their standards. What standards? We know We know how political the FBI are, and the deep state and the leftists in the deep state control the FBI. They're a political arm. They're the Democrats' political arm. They're the Democrats' Gestapo. Quote, upon learning of the document, FBI headquarters quickly began taking action to remove the document from FBI systems and conduct a review of the basis for the document, the FBI told the caller. They go on to say the FBI is committed to sound analytic tradecraft and to investigating and preventing acts of violence and other crimes while upholding the constitutional rights of all Americans, and will never conduct investigative activities or open an investigation based solely on First Amendment protective activity. That's what they say, but we all know that's not what they do. According to the FBI report, the agency assessed with, quote, high confidence that threats from so-called radical traditionalist Catholics, or RTCs, can be dealt with via source development, among other strategies. The document expresses the FBI's concern that racially or ethnically motivated violent extremists, RMVEs, will use traditionalist Catholic social media groups and parishes as, quote, facilitation platforms to promote violence. It also connects RTCs to an increase in hostility towards abortion rights advocates on social media in the run-up to the aftermath of the Supreme Court decision that overturned Roe v. Wade. Again, these are people free amendment speeches, so because you have some people on the right talking about Roe v. Wade on social media platforms, you want to go and you want to infiltrate them for using their First Amendment rights? Among the Catholic or Catholic adjacent groups mentioned in the document are the Traditionalist Society of St. Pius, the right-wing Catholic news outlet Church Militant, and Groypers, the nickname for followers of traditionalist Catholic political commentator and Holocaust denier Nick Fuentes. That's what Daily Caller says. According to the memo, there is a growing collaboration between church militants and Fuentes, America First group, which shows evidence of increasing ties between traditional Catholics and extremist groups. Quote, the FBI report is based on reporting by far-left extremist group and media outlets which clearly demonstrate zero understanding of Catholic theology. And that's the point I was making. They're going off of the SPLC, which we know is a leftist group that really don't care about truth. They care about sticking it to conservative and right-wing organizations. But those voluminous errors then found their way into the FBI report where flat-out false conclusions are drawn. Church Militant told the caller, adding that they have zero connection to Fuentes. Quote, Church Militant and all faithful Catholics in no way hates women, blacks, Jews, immigrants, or anyone else we may be accused of hating. To disagree with social or political points of view do not signify hate. It signifies disagreement. Amen to that. And that's my point. Because that's what the left do. I'm glad they pointed that. I'm glad Church Militant pointed that out. Just because you disagree with someone don't mean you hate them. You hate their person. You don't mean you hate the individual. You just disagree with them in political stuff and in social stuff. I mean, and that's what the left do. They make your disagreement to be hate. Quote, likewise, to bolster its fear-mongering, the FBI report goes on to try and draw an imagery link between Catholics and white supremacy, yet never defines what the ubiquitous term actually means, the statement continues. Another great point. That's what I'm saying. What do you mean by white? How can you automatically equate Catholics? And I'm not Catholic. I am a Christian, but I'm not Catholic. And I know a lot of Catholics, friends with Catholics. How do you equate Catholicism with white supremacy? Where do you get that from? Maybe you have a couple individuals that might be racist that happen to be Catholic. That don't mean you can't blame all of Catholicism for that. But quote, church militants do not believe that whites are superior or non-white races are somehow inferior. We are faithful Catholics, and Catholic teaching abhors such a notion. CM has zero connection to any person or outfit who espouses these anti-Catholic ideologies and condemns such beliefs. The FBI report falsely suggests that all of this is bound up in potential violence and aimed at abortion supporters, and that's exactly what it is. It's the devil attacking the church. It's exactly what it is. For the record, Church Militant is no way, shape, or form supports physical violence against those with whom we disagree on moral political issues of the day. I'm glad someone out of that church spoke up and spoke out against what the FBI was trying to do. And the FBI is just covering their bases. That's the only reason why they scrapping the memos because they got caught. I guarantee if they didn't get caught, they would have been infiltrated in the Catholic Church and it probably would have been a plot where the majority of the people that did a horrendous act in that church happened to be FBI agents, like we seen with the Whitmore abduction. But let me know what you think. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, and check out DeMarcoRepublics.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.